a senator from Zamfara and 2 lawmakers from Cross River today defected to the APC. But President Buhari says our problem in Nigeria is not an ethnicity or religion, but ourselves. And the leadership of the PDP today stormed the National Assembly in protest of the nomination of Ms. Loretta Onuche as INEC National Commissioner. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Akimbaloye, our Channels Television's office here in Abuja, the nation's capital. Welcome to the program, everyone. So we'll be getting on board for the next hour. And so stay with me because we're bringing you some of your top stories across the land in politics. Let's begin from what President Buhari said today. President Muhammad Buhari has declared what, in his view, is a problem of Nigeria. The president said, quote, "Our problem is not ethnicity or religion. It is ourselves," end of quote. It appears the president has reflected on the complexities of the Nigerian condition and concluded that neither ethnicity nor religion was to blame, but ourselves as Nigerians for inherent injustices. The president said this while receiving members of the Muhammadu Buhari Oshibaja Dynamic Support Group who visited State House Abuja to present a compendium of 5 years' achievements of his administration. Before we get into our conversation tonight, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says 42 of its critical installations have been attacked so far across the country. Speaking at the 2021 annual Abubakar Momo Memorial Lecture, the National Commissioner and Chairman Board of the Electoral Institute, Mohammed Haruna, expressed worry about how these challenges affect the mandate of the Commission to conduct free, fair and credible elections in the country.
Security in this country has degenerated beyond the above-mentioned reckless manipulations.
The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Army to investigate the activities of the Nigerian Army over alleged non-payment of 663 billion naira non-regular allowances to its personnel over the past 2 years. This is sequel to a motion sponsored by Honorable Abubakar Nalaraba, drawing the attention of the House to an alleged underutilization of the resources despite increase in budgetary provision for these allowances in 2020 and 2021. The House is disturbed about the possible impact of the non-payment of the benefits to Army personnel at a time when the country is besieged by several security challenges.
The welfare of Army personnel have not felt the corresponding effect, and personnel of Nigerian Army involved in internal security operations, training and performance of other military duties are still being owed various types of non-regular allowances.
The Inspector General of Police says the police is working to ensure that there is improved security in the country for Nigerians to be able to sleep with both eyes closed. He stated this just before a closed-door meeting with members of the House of Representatives.
We are all working towards the same goal, to bring betterment in policing so that Nigerians can go about their lawful businesses. Nigerians can sleep their 2 eyes closed. Nigerians can enjoy better security, better movement.
Nigeria is one of the richest nations in the world, if only we can manage ourselves properly. This was part of the remarks of Governor Abdullahi Sule at a retreat of the Northern Caucus of the House of Representatives on the Petroleum Industry Bill and the future of Nigeria. The governor, who was among presenters at the technical session, wants the Northern Caucus to see the debate as a national issue rather than one which concerns only the North.
The amount of energy we have on the ground of all these various belts, even for national security, we should not waste our time in ensuring that we find the resources to fund all the frontier lines.
Well, leaders of the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, today stormed the National Assembly in protest. The leaders are demanding the immediate reversal of President Muhammadu Buhari's nomination of Ms. Loretta Onoche as National Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Loretta Onoche is currently the media aide to President Buhari on social media. The protest was led by the PDP National Chairman, Uche Secondus. The PDP described the appointment as a travesty on Nigeria's democracy. Take a listen to the chairman of the PDP.
Ably represented here by the Senate leader of the PDP and the House leader, minority leader, the House of Representatives, distinguished senators, members of House of Representatives, leaders of our party that are here, the youths and the women. We are here on this protest this day to make the final point of total rejection of Loretta Onoche, that she must be totally rejected by the Senate and National Assembly.
I want to reassure our chairman and our members here. I have come here in
the national chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, and the minority leader at the Senate, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, receiving the PDP leadership at the National Assembly today. So our conversation tonight from the next 50 minutes or so is about 2023 election, the defections that we're seeing, the ruling APC, the opposition PDP. What is happening exactly in the polity? So stick around with me, everyone, because gradually I'm going to drive you towards that destination, that conversation you may have been having. What is happening to the PDP? Is PDP in a deep mess? What exactly is wrong with that political party? When you see governors of the party, at least 3 or 4 of them that have left the PDP for the APC. The party says they don't have a problem. There are people who are asking for the head of the national chairman. He says it's the problem that he should go. Is that a problem? We'll find out in a moment. But APC, where are they also shopping for PDP members? Some of these dynamics, what is on our lips tonight, of course, the issue of constitutional amendment. So yet another set of federal lawmakers have dumped the PDP. 3 senators of the PDP today defected to the All Progressives Congress APC. The president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, confirmed their defection in a letter he read on the floor of the Senate. The 3 senators include Senator Shahabi Ya'u from Zamfara North, Senator Lawali Anka from Zamfara West, and Senator Peter Umwoboshi from Delta North. In their separate letters, the senators each cite the crisis in the PDP in their states as reasons for defecting to the APC. Meanwhile, the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawali, formally announced his defection. Of course, there's been a rumor about him leaving the PDP, and so it was yesterday that he formally made it public that he was leaving for the APC. And Governor Matawali said that he had been nursing the ambition of leaving the PDP for several reasons. The National Caretaker Committee chairman of the APC and governor of Yobe State, Maimala Buni, led the team to receive the Zamfara governor to the APC. So you might want to ask the question, because the PDP says they're going to court. So why is the APC interested in PDP governors? Why are they rooting for them to come to the other side? Let's ask one of the governors of the APC, a leader of the party, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. He joins us from virtually from Lafia. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure having you on this very pleasant weather in Abuja. Thank you so much. Let's begin the conversation. Why is your party seem to be very much interested in depleting the membership of the PDP?
Well, thank you very much, Shewun. Why not? I think that's what politics is all about. So far, what we are seeing is that we are trying as much as possible to get stronger, because we have been a very, very strong party, and we are doing the best we can to continue to be stronger. And the only way we can be stronger is to get more and more people and the right people together, the leaders of the opposition. And that's what we are trying to do. And God so kind, we are doing that in the sense that all these leaders that you are seeing from the opposition party are seeing the very good work that our president is doing, our governors at the various levels are doing, and also our party, being led by one of our colleagues, the governor of Yobe State is doing. So the management of the caretaker committee is going very well. They are doing a wonderful job, and they are shopping, like you stated. And that's the right thing to do, for them to shop, and to shop for the right people to make our party stronger. And God so kind, we have been very, very successful in doing that. I think why not? That's the right thing to do.
As an engineer, you're a scientist, and because scientists also, they see the end from the very beginning when they are making the experiment. Is this experiment meant to plunder the PDP so that it will be so weak that it won't be able to compete with you in 2023?
I think PDP has always been weak from the time President Muhammadu Buhari has come in. So all we have seen is they are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. And it is the same in all the states. Most of the states you go, you are only seeing what is happening at the national level. A good example here in Nasarawa State, we started with about 7 members of the PDP in the House of Assembly. 5 of them have now returned to APC. So we only have 2 left, and it's only a matter of time. Even those 2 are going to jump ship and come in and join our party. So we are doing a very good work, but by ensuring that we open our doors, we give the people of Nigeria what they are looking for. Our president has shown capacity that he's the right person for this administration, and that's what we are seeing. So they are already weak, and they will only get weaker.
So perhaps it's now true what is coming out now when some analysts say the APC will have no base in 2023 because that President Buhari had come always to any general elections in the last 4 or 5 general elections with at least 10 million votes. And if he goes, that the APC is gone for good. Those are some of the criticism and some of the permutations of political analysts thinking that the APC has no root. And perhaps the major reason why your party is going for the PDP. So in essence, if we can capture it properly, you're looking at a one-party state because when you plunder PDP and you do not have a strong opposition in 2023, the only option Nigerians will have is the APC and the APC.
No, there are at least 18 political parties. Nigeria is not just PDP and APC. There are so many other political parties there that are roaming around. It's just that we are not giving them credit. The bottom line is that the main opposition party remains the PDP. And for the fact that we have continued to be stronger and to show capacity, the PDP had the opportunity actually to be in administration and to rule, at the federal level. So people have seen the difference between the administration of the PDP at the national level and now the APC at the national level. We have been very accommodating. We have been very supportive. We have continued just 2 days or a few days back, the president actually inaugurated a committee, which I happen to be a member, that we are taking 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in the next 10 years. similar to what India has done between 2006 to 2016, when they have taken over 200 million Indians out of poverty. So people are beginning to see the vision. People are beginning to see the focus. People are going in the right direction. The only challenges we have really is just about this security. The moment these security issues are out of the way, then you will see that. And to give Muhammad Buhari, all the due respect, when you mention he has all these 12 million voters. So when he goes, 12 million voters will go. They will go where? They will still vote. And the majority of them are APC, and majority of them will come to APC. They have always followed Muhammad Buhari, yes, but they are APC. That is one fundamental thing you have to understand. If we have the right presidential candidate, they will also go along with that presidential candidate.
So it's interesting what is happening now, Governor. So you've not told us the plan of the APC. I was asking that if your plan is to decimate the PDP, that perhaps it's you take it out of existence. Is that the grand plan?
No, not at all. We don't want to take them out of existence. I believe we should leave PDP to remain in existence. Because the best in democracy is where you have a very strong opposition. So PDP will still be a very strong opposition, but it may end up just being a regional party, just for a certain areas of the country. And then I doubt if there is a way you can say PDP will not have any state as any governor in any state in the federation. It is actually out of way. So, and I don't think APC is going in that direction. But APC is just doing the best we can to be as strong as we can to be, and that's what we're.
That will probably lead me to this question, Your Excellency, the fact that the acceptability or the acceptance of your party, the kind of steam that we saw your party got in 2014, 2015, which culminated into the election of President Muhammadu Buhari. And part of what we also saw in 2019, with all of what we've seen this time around, the inflation in double digits, the unemployment about 33%, the issue of insecurity that has engulfed most part of the country, although truthfully that we've seen a decrease in some part of the country that we have always seen perhaps every other day. Can your party have the audacity to meet Nigerians and tell them to vote for it in 2023 with all of this myriad of problems that we're seeing today?
Definitely. The reason is simple. Most of these problems you are mentioning are not new to the world. Most of these are not new to Nigeria. Some of these issues are global in nature. The challenges we are having today about economic challenges, they are indeed global challenges. The problem we had with COVID-19, they are global challenges that we have had. Have we managed them in Nigeria? Well, we have done the best we can and we have been able to manage them. The issue of Boko Haram, we are not born by APC. We met them when they were here in 2015. And has APC been able to do the best we can? We have in some other places. Have new challenges about security come up? Yes. Where mostly maybe they move from the northeast to north central and maybe northwest. Where also problems, we were in this country, we have forgotten when we were having problems everywhere in this country, in the Niger Delta, and issues were there like they were not going to come to an end. They have come to an end in that area. And then in the northeast, we have seen reduction in that area. Now we are seeing bandits, we are seeing kidnapping. They will also come to an end. It all depends on the way APC is managing them, and APC is managing them well. Politics is about people. We are getting the right people, to come in and take position in this party. And these are the same people that will go out there again. By 2023, inshallah, we will solve these problems and we will be as strong as we are, and we will be standing very strong and selling the party again back to Nigerians. And Nigerians will see all the programs that have been going on. Today, Muhammad Buhari has listed all the jobs that he has done, for instance, in the Northeast. And if you look at the records, probably no president has ever done that in the history of Nigeria. This is what is happening. That's what is going to be sold. Not sentiments about global economy, not sentiments about insecurity. Is it the first time we have had insecurity in Nigeria? We have always had that. Is it the first time we have had problems with OPC and IPOP? We had always had that. IPOP has always been there, even before Muhammad Buhari came in. They have been, OPC had been there before Muhammad Buhari came in. There was a time a president say any member of IPOP OPC actually should be shot, on site. Muhammad Buhari has not said that.
Your Excellency, but you will agree with. Yeah, you agree with me, but my question is about how these things have become a bigger problem. I agree that some of these problems have existed, but the promise that the president made and your party made was that they are going to get rid of the problems, but they kept compounding and they become bigger. Inflation figures were rising before this government, but it rose to double figures. Unemployment rate, I'm not sure that it's been this bad in several decades. The issue of insecurity has not been this bad since Nigerian civil war. And these are some of the issues. They kept rising and they become so bad. And perhaps a bigger issue on the table is when Nigerians of different ethnic nationalities are saying, can we restructure this country? And they're asking the APC, does your party have the political will to make that happen? The yearnings and the aspirations, agitations of Nigerians. Will your party make that happen?
And I think the president has answered that clearly. The right people to restructure this country are the members of the National Assembly. On the day they finish restructuring and bring the restructuring document to his table, he will sign it. And I think the president has said that, so there is no other way to indicate it more than that. No president has said that except Muhammad Buhari. He said, if that is the wish of Nigerians and the National Assembly does it, change the constitution, bring it to him, he will sign it. No president has done that. So I think the willingness has been shown is there. Now, coming back to the other issues that you are mentioning, security challenges have been up and down. Economic challenges have been up and down all the time. And I have explained to you some of the causes of those challenges. Why the escalation of some of those reasons? They are there. So we are seeing them. Can they be overcome? Yes. Is the president doing everything possible to do that? He has shown the willingness. Are the governors doing the best they can? They are trying. Nigerians, community leaders are trying. Yes, nobody is saying that there are no security challenges. There are all over the country today. They used to be in some locations. They are now all over the country. Kidnapping started in the Niger Delta and the Northeast. Today, we are having it more in the northern part of the country than that. These are the issues. These are the challenges. And I'm not telling you no, but I'm saying this is one administration that is willing to tackle the issues of this country head on without any hesitation. That is the point that I'm making.
Your Excellency, Governor of Nasarawa said, Governor Abdullahi Sule, it's always a pleasure talking to you. We can have this conversation on and on for 3 hours. He's such a fantastic talker, and it's always indeed a pleasure having some debate with you. Civility is usually the order of the day when we're having this conversation. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you, Chairman. It's always a pleasure. You are a wonderful gentleman, and I love you for that. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, appreciate it. Let's switch gears now and hear what perhaps is the problem. We've heard from Governor Sule. You can take his word to the bank because as a leader and a governor in the APC, their plans are obvious. And you've heard it, but let's hear from the PDP, the ones on the receiving end. It does look like their party has lost some steam, and perhaps they've lost the brake to their vehicle, and the vehicle is going down on a slope. Where will it end? I'm being joined by Kola Ologbodiyan. He's the spokesperson of the PDP. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbodiyan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Your party seems to be on the slope, and I was trying to make a description. When you have a vehicle that has lost its brake and is going down on the slope, it's headed for a disaster, isn't it? Is that on the path where your party is right now?
Let me start by welcoming you to the nation's capital, Abuja.
Yeah.
And having welcomed you, let me give you an assurance that the People's Democratic Party is very stable. They don't have our experience in politics.
You said this to me several times, Mr. Ologbodiyan.
They don't have...
No, you've told me. You know the reason why. You've told me that your party is stable.
We are very stable.
When you lost the first governor this year, you lost the second one, you told me the same thing. Now you're telling me that your party is still stable.
Our party is very stable. As we speak, we have all our structures established in the 36 states and the 774 local government, as well as over 2,000 wards that we have in Nigeria. Our party is very stable. Now, moving from there, Nigerians know that the power...
Sorry, apologies, so that we can clear it. So what do you mean by stability? If someone has malaria and is healed of malaria, is stable. Someone can be on life support and perhaps gasping for breath. Maybe it has been stabilized, but it's still on life support. That might be stability. Is that the kind of stability your party is?
Unfortunately for the People's Democratic Party, we do not suffer any of these ailments in the political firmament.
You are not in the life support.
At all. We do not suffer any form of...
I know that. I know, Mr. Ologbondiyan. Yes. You know you're a colleague before you move to the other side.
Oh, so sure.
So, and truth telling is part of what you are trained for.
And that's what I do.
And I know it might be difficult on the other side.
No, it's not
truth
difficult
telling
on the other
is usually
side.
very difficult
It's
on
not
the
difficult on the
other
other
side.
side.
But because
I speak the truth.
Because you are my brother.
Always.
When we were a journalist.
Even in the political firmament.
So let's identify what the problem. I know you are uneasy right now.
No, I'm not.
You're uneasy
My
because
party is very stable.
How can you be on?
Our structure are very stable across the 36 states of the federation.
You've lost Zamfara.
You've
lost Cross River.
You are listening.
You've lost Mboyi. Do you agree with me that governors make a very strong structure of a political
party?
You are
listing governors. We have lost Zamfara. We have lost Ebonyi. Cross River has decamped. What of the people who made the governor? Did they decamp?
What about the National Assembly? You lost all the lawmakers. You lost all the lawmakers in the Senate.
Process. Let me make the point.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sheung, you say we lost governors. Did we lose the people that voted them into office? Then there's one thing that we must take into consideration, and it's very germane in this discussion. The fact that President Muhammadu Buhari and the leaders of the All Progressives Congress are going around intimidating the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. And it's very convenient. What they do is send in security agents to go and conduct investigation. And as soon as they send them in, you begin to read on the social media and on the pages of newspapers, oh, Zamfara governor is leaving. Oh, Ebonyi State governor is leaving. Oh, Cross River. We understand the mind game that they are playing. We understand what they are doing. But we are confident in the people of Nigeria who have been made to suffer untold hardships going to 6 years and who are very determined that for once they want to choose a leader of their own. And we believe, who also hold to the fact that APC as a party is not structured, who also know that APC as a party is a mere vehicle that was used to hijack power. And as such, they are done with the APC. All that the silent Nigerians who have been pushed to the realm of despondency by the APC and President Muhammadu Buhari are waiting for is 2023. Sheung, in Bauchi, it was APC governor. PDP got elected there. In Adamawa, it was APC governor with all the power of incumbency, with all the military power, with all the intimidation that they did.
All right.
PDP was re-elected.
Let's take a breather.
In Rivers.
Just a moment. We need to take a breather because we're due for a commercial break. We take a break. But when we come back, Mr. Ologbondiyan is trying to identify to us that his party is ill and earthy. So we'll be having the conversation about how healthy the PDP is in the face of this gale of defections. The 2023 politics is already here. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk more about this. Everyone for staying with us right here on Politics Hidden Channels Television. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan is the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, and he's been talking to us about the state of affairs of his party in the face of the gale of defections that we've seen. In the last 5 or 6 months, the PDP has suffered huge defection from its party, and the only party that has been on the receiving end is the APC that has had now the Ebonyi governor, the Cross River governor, the Zamfara State governor, plus lawmakers in the National Assembly. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbondiyan. Let's get back to the conversation. You were saying that your party is healthy, everything is fine, but look at what is happening in the National Assembly, which you cover for several years. Number is the name of the game. If you don't have the number, you don't have you don't have a say.
Yeah.
You know, because when you vote, then you need a number to back your vote. So you've lost 3 senators at least today, or 4. Yeah, today, 4 senators today. You're losing that. You don't have as much senators anyways. How many governors do you have left in the PDP right now?
Right now, we have 13 governors left.
And you started with about 18.
We started with about
2019.
We started in 2019 with, I think, 15 or 16. Then we moved to 17. But the point that I was making is that you are counting governors. We are saying in the People's Democratic Party, where our motto is power to the people, we are saying that the power resides in the people. And that the fact that the governor has left the party does not translate to victory. And I said that even in the 2019 election, whether you take the experience in Rivers State, or you take the experience in Akwa Ibom State, or you take the experience in Bauchi State, these elections were militarized, using all the powers of incumbency. But the people were determined.
But you won some of these elections.
That's where I'm going. That's why I'm saying that leave the issue of governor. We won these elections, particularly in Bauchi, in Adamawa, because the people were determined. And I'm saying emphatically that given the suffering that Nigerians have passed through, going to 6 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, an administration that cannot point to one project that it initiated, not inherited, it initiated and completed.
What about the Lagos
Ibadan rail line was started by PDP now. Name the project.
Because what I know is that
it started with Obasanjo's administration. Was Obasanjo's administration not PDP?
But
who drew the plan? Who borrowed the money?
No, let's be factual, Mr. Olobode.
Yes.
Lagos Ibadan railway was started and completed by this government.
No, Sheon, go and check the records.
And I've reported it. That's why I'm giving. Maybe you have some other facts that I don't have.
It was initiated by the Obasanjo administration. You might say
initiation and commencing a project. Just like I'm not debating this with you. I'm just putting the fact. I'm not speaking for the APC, but I'm just saying that we need to put out the facts there. For example, the Abuja Kaduna rail. We know that the Jonathan administration did a huge part of
almost
the job.
90%
and this
of
government
almost 90%
accepted that
of the
they
job.
finished the job.
Almost 90% of the job.
So the Lagos Ibadan rail,
it was initiated by President
but it was started by Buhari government.
I said at least PDP had a mark in it. You cannot say that PDP didn't have a mark in it. That's the point I'm making.
So when you're saying that you should
what I'm saying,
project, I'm trying to
no, that's not what you do. I said look at the word initiated a project which means that it went through your thought process. You sat down on your own, it went through your thought process, you defined it, and brought it out. That's initiation. And I'm saying that let them point to one project that they initiated, began and completed under this administration. It's a challenge that we have thrown out over and over and over, where we have not got a response anyway, be that as it may. So what I was saying was that, look, in spite of all that they are doing today, where I'm driving to, in spite of all that they are doing today, at the end of it, the people who have suffered in the last 6 years will decide, and I'm very confident, that no Nigerian worth that name that will vote against PDP in 2019.
So let's clarify this, because sometimes when you're in the house, you might not hear the sound of the rain or the storm. And you might not know this, but because I'm a political journalist, I know. But are you aware that there is a storm in your party to remove the Uche Secondus as chairman?
Well, you call it a storm. I call it a distraction by some people who say that, Secondus has to go, who went to EFCC to lie against the National Working Committee, who have brought up all manner of things in the public domain. I cannot claim not to be aware of that. But to say that there is a storm in the party, Sheung, are you aware that none of the governors that left the party, none out of the 3 that left the party, accused the party of any form of misdemeanor?
Okay, so
are you aware?
Yeah, let me put this question right. Let me just
round this up. Even the parliamentarians that you are talking about in the National Assembly, the 3 senators that left with Matawali in Zamfara State, what they did was a sympathetic defection, because they know the circumstances that forced Matawali out of office, and they feel that they cannot leave him to go alone. And I'm very concerned, particularly for Senator Yao, who had been a PDP person all through and through. But the other 2 senators were people, and maybe with Senator Yao, are people who are just expressing sympathetic loyalty to the governor.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
And in Delta
I'm not sure
State,
if you...
and in Delta State, where Senator Peter Nwobosi just left the party. You know why he left?
I don't know.
Are you not aware? Are you not aware of the harassment over EFCC cases? Are you not aware? So what we are saying is that what the APC is doing is that they are building something on nothing, and it will not stand. How will it stand?
But I'm aware that Senator Nwobosi won the case at the court. So, but the question I want to ask
so do you know the undercurrents?
No, because we can't. You can't talk about the undercurrents.
Do you know the undercurrents?
You can only talk about the facts.
I can speak about the undercurrents because I'm in the political firmament.
Yeah,
you are not there.
We can. No, I am.
You are a political reporter.
I am a political reporter, but I understand the workings of what happened.
You don't participate in
your night meetings. In your night meetings. So but let me ask you this. Seriously speaking, I know you probably will not speak in this manner if your party is the one receiving members from the APC. But I'm not talking about Kasim Afegbua's case, which we're referring to, who went to the EFCC and laid a petition against the leadership of your party. I'm talking about leaders of your party that I've spoken with, that are talking about, and when I say this, you can take my word to the bank, they are talking about consideration of the fact that seconders and the leadership of the party may be the problem of your PDP.
Well, I don't know.
Are you aware?
I'm not aware.
But I'm telling you.
You are telling me now, but
I'm giving you an information.
You are not a member of my party.
But I know, you are aware that when you were covering the National Assembly, you are privy to information.
You are not a member of my party.
But I'm giving you
information.
And
I'm saying that what you are
about
saying,
what is happening in your party.
What you are saying now does not comply with the situation that I see in my party, which is the People's Democratic Party. So, and I said, you said governors are leaving our party. And I just asked a simple question. Out of the 3 governors that left, did any, just one, complain about the party? No.
No, they did.
Who complained?
Ebonyi governor complained about the party. Ebonyi says that he was not sure about what...
Listen. Ebonyi governor did not complain about the activities of the party. Ebonyi governor was projecting into the future, and he said, he made a declaration that there is injustice. And the party said, where is the injustice? Was it when you were a party chairman that there was injustice? Was it when you were a deputy governor that was injustice? Was it when you finished your first term that was... So as far as the party is concerned, not one governor. And you are also aware that after Ayade left, Ayade said he holds the PDP in high respect. He said that. Even the man who said that he has been longing to go to APC, even though we know why he's leaving, and we know that it has nothing to do with longing to go to APC. After all, there are video recordings in circulation where he placed a curse upon himself if he ever betrayed the PDP and the people. So if he was longing to go to APC, will he place a curse on himself? So we need to understand the methodology and the psychology of these defections. And that's why we are telling you in the People's Democratic Party that we are unfazed.
Yeah, because
we know it for sure that APC is merely building something on nothing. We shall see.
All right. If I can compare political party to a battalion or a team of soldiers whose aim is to win a war, because when you go to election, you're planning, you are in battle with other political parties to win. And you're going with a general and of different platoon or different battalion or different formation, you're going with a general. Is it a disaster when you lose general at war? Yes or no?
Do you know, Seun? Well, there are some expectations that I have of you in this discussion. We are saying that, we are going into a war and we are losing generals. With due respect and condolences to the family of the late Chief of Army Staff. When he died, what happened?
He was replaced.
Thank you very much, Seun.
So the question is that...
So it is not...
But he had a plan study, but it's a big loss to the military.
It is not absolute that because a particular person has left the People's Democratic Party, that there will be no replacement. Did the governor work alone to put himself in power?
What about the values of your party? Is that being eroded?
Did the governor work alone to put himself in power? The answer is no. He worked with human beings who are not machines, who are feeling the pains and the anguish of this reckless administration.
You have accused the APC of intimidating and harassing your members. But you said this not once, not twice, but you've not given evidence. You said they are harassing your governors. Can you give evidence of how they did that?
I just told you how security agents whose responsibility is to investigate corruption are thrown into states, and as they are doing the investigation, the governors are told that, oh, if you don't want to go to jail after the end of your tenure, you better move.
And you are privy to this?
These are the
allegedly, or you are privy to this? You have evidence? No, because you're on national television.
These are intelligence that we have a right to our own intelligence in my party. Don't we have? Don't we have a right to our own intelligence? This is the intelligence that we are gathering in our own party. Don't forget that this is politics. So we have a responsibility to look on the other side. What is happening there? So we know what they are doing. And people are complaining to us. Those involved, those being harassed, they are telling the leaders of their party, this is what we are suffering. And that's why they go out every day and say, oh, this governor is going to go. APC will even put a date to when the particular governor will leave.
So what did you do to those who joined your party? Did you intimidate them too?
Like who?
Donald Duke is back in PDP.
Yes.
Did you intimidate him?
We didn't need to. Donald Duke left from PDP.
Yes. Went to SDP.
Wait now, Sheon. He understands the nuances of the political party. He knows that the only democratic institution called a political party in Nigeria is the People's Democratic Party. And when he went, I was there in Calabar. When he came up and said, I'm back, oh, those were his words. I am back to my home. I'm back, oh. Because he has sampled the other political party. He has seen it that the only democratic party in Nigeria who is structured and well established is the People's Democratic Party. Give me another name, then I will tell you.
The reason why I'm asking, because if you say that the basis for joining political party is because of intimidation, there is one man who left from Abga in Zamfara, Abdullahi Shinkafi. He's not from your party, he left too. Would you say that he was also intimidated to have joined Zamfara APC?
Is he a sitting governor?
No, he was a former national secretary of a political party, a national party.
You started this discussion by using governors as a predicate. Yeah, but and I told you that they are being coerced into resigning from their political party and going into the ruling APC. You understand? And you said that, did we coerce those who come to our party? And I just want to answer you that we do not have the powers of coercion. We are not a ruling government.
Okay.
No security group is answerable to the People's Democratic Party. So anybody coming to join us, and I'm telling you, Sheon, that the game is just starting. Many, including their governors and parliamentarians, they are coming back. Write it down, note it, Sheon. It's still a long time. Is it not politics?
Have you heard or seen also, because I made reference to the fact that a governor of your party is leaving for the APC the last time we had the conversation. Yes. Are you also aware that there are plans for another governor of your party to move to the APC?
I have told you, Sheon, whether there are plans to move governors or not. Can they move the people and their minds?
Okay.
That's the question. So that's why I told you from the beginning that both President Muhammadu Buhari and the leaders of the All Progressives Congress are building something on nothing. And like lawyers say, what will come out of it? Nothing. Empty.
All right. You're planning a lawsuit. Have you gone to court?
Our legal team is meeting currently, and they are working on when to go to court.
On what basis are you going to court?
Thank you very much. Yeah. On the basis that Matawale was not elected as governor, and that his own election is distinct from other people who are decammed, because the judgment in the Faleke versus INEC, I'm not a lawyer, but I can read and write. The judgment in Faleke versus INEC is that it is the party who owns the votes, and that the candidate is merely an agent. And don't forget, we are talking about an election in Zamfara State, where the Supreme Court did say that APC was not in that election. So if APC was not in that election, what is wrong? If we subject that judgment to a legal test, whether it is proper for a party who did not participate in an election to now go behind nicodemously to go and hijack a governor that was elected on a platform of the party as declared by the judiciary. So I also want to leave this with you and leave it with Nigerians. That all these amendments that we are craving, it does not necessarily mean that it is until the National Assembly or parliamentarian sits in their chambers to amend the Constitution. The judgment of the courts, there are also amendments. So, and there's nothing wrong if something happened to test it in the court. If the court says, no, you are wrong, we say, my lordship, we are grateful, thank you, we'll go back home. But what if we don't test? And at the end of the day, we discover that, oh, if we had tested, it would have been appropriate. So for us in the People's Democratic Party, like I said, we are the only democratic party in this country, and we endeavor always to ensure that our character and what the things that we do conform with the tenets of democracy. And going to court to challenge the defection of Matawale is part of this culture.
So the plan of the PDP is to unseat Governor Matawale. Is that it?
Our plan in the People's Democratic Party is very simple. That the Supreme Court declared that APC was not in the Zamfara election in 2019. And that the party that has the highest number following should take office. And I am saying that even for the purpose of this discussion, if you go back to Faleke versus INEC, that it was clearly stated there that a candidate in an election is an agent of a political party, and that the political party ends the vote. So as far as we are concerned, even if there are situations in the Matawale that contradicts this disposition, we are going to the Supreme Court on account of the judgment of, relying on the judgment of Faleke versus INEC. Because the electoral process in our country here does not allow for independent candidates.
All right.
It is clear.
So we will come back because I know you know the workings of the National Assembly and some of the issues that came up and the basis in which a lawmaker can lose his seat. Well, it's a bit different for the executive, whether or not a governor can lose his seat for the basis of defection. But we need to take a break.
Because it has not been tested.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, more on this defection, how uneasy the PDP may be about this, and the way forward for the nation ahead of 2023 presidential election. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Then with us, Kola Ologboriyan, the spokesperson of the PDP, has been talking to us on the program tonight. We've had the governor of Nasarawa State, who's basically declared to us that the plan of the APC is also to aim at the good eggs in the PDP and get them to the other side. And he told us that the APC is on strong footing ahead of 2023 presidential election. But where does the PDP stand in all of this, considering the gale of defections that we are seeing? Thank you so much, Mr. Ologboriyan. But the issue I was going to raise with you is the legal premise on which you're going to court. You're going to court to probably unseat the governor of Zamfara State. I'm wondering where that is captured in the law. I mean, you've stated it. We've seen the Omeha Amechi case. We've seen the Faleke case. With so many cases. And the premise in which some of the lawmakers in the National Assembly specifically are saying is that there is a crisis in your party, and perhaps they have reasons for saying that.
There's no crisis in the People's Democratic Party. I can say, and even the lawmakers that you're talking about, they went to their respective states that, oh, there's crisis in Zamfara. That is not what the Constitution took into consideration in that part of the Constitution. What it said is that, what was important is that is the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party divided in a manner that offices are being opened down the line from the national to the state to the ward. This is not there. So what they are just doing, like I said, they are doing a sympathetic defection. But I want to assure them that the People's Democratic Party will do everything necessary within the confines of the law to ensure that we take back our mandate, to take back our seats.
On a final note, if we leave all of this defection and focus on Anambra State, because that's an election that will happen in November this year, your party is already having some problems. And I will summarize it because it's a long story, and I'd like you to quickly just react to it because we're due, we need to close shortly. The problem is, INEC will recognize the secondus leadership because under the law, the NWC is the one permitted exclusively to conduct a governorship primary. But there are two subsisting court orders, court judgments over the situation in Anambra State. The Chris Uba faction may be having a tenable premise in conducting or doing what they did. How do you hope to sail through this storm, this legal storm, in the face of the subsisting judgment of court?
Like I said in the beginning, I am not a lawyer. But you have said it, and your statement was very declarative, that it is the secondus leadership of the National Working Committee that can nominate a candidate into election in a gubernatorial situation. What did we do as a party? We had two judgments conflicting against each other. One said it is this ESCO. Another one said it is that ESCO. The party in its wisdom accepted the judgment, looked into its constitution, the PDP constitution, looked through it and said, in the circumstances in which we have found ourselves, what can we do? Don't forget, Sheon, already the delegates, whether as ad hoc or whether as a executive, from ward to the state, were already banned by the court. The only stage that was available to the party was the super delegates, the automatic delegates. And to explain what a super delegate or automatic...
Is that captured in your constitution?
Is in the constitution. It's there, you say. It's in the constitution. What I can explain it is this, for the benefits of Nigerians. These are people who are either in offices, elected, or had served in those offices in time past. So, and they are also qualified as delegates. So since the other group of delegates have been encumbered by the court, and we have accepted the judgment of the court and say, okay, court has stopped us, okay, fine. We have agreed, we have stopped. But we have powers also within this constitution to dissolve an ESCO on behalf of the National Executive Committee, who will later ratify it. And the meeting of the NEC holds once in a quarter. So everything that we did was in line with the provisions of this constitution.
All right, so Valentine...
Valentine Ozigbo is the candidate of the party.
But the Chris Uba also...
I cannot, you cannot force me to speak onto what I don't know about.
Okay.
What I know and which the party also recognizes is the fact that we had a primary election supervised by the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Schreiber.
Was INEC there?
INEC was there. All the agencies of government were there.
We need to go now. Mr. Kala Ologbodin, the spokesperson of the PDP, thank you so much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you very much, and I hope you come regularly to Abuja.
If assignments demands. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
But that's our show for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Akimale. Bye-bye.